Anger is a spiritual battle. You cannot win it. You must find your bearing. Once you find the bearing, the anger disappears. But as much as you keep on fighting and thinking you're doing the right thing, you're even digging deeper. And as you dig deeper, God is not an emotional God. Okay? So he will not come through unless you give up. The more you keep fighting, the more you suffer. The more you keep fighting, the more you suffer. The more you keep fighting with that anger, the more you defend the anger with different things. Oh, I'm emotional. Oh, I have OCD. Oh, I have ADHD. Oh, I have PTSD. You're actually sugarcoating and actually giving the devil a new name and title. Yes, Chemtai.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
All is well. Talk to us.
Yeah, for me, I was raised by a single mother.
Yes.
Who was very bitter, and it has really affected me. I'm a mother right now too.
Yeah.
And I have seen my mother in me.
Yes.
So I'm so bitter. I'm not single, but I am so bitter.
Yeah.
And it's affecting my children.
How many children do you have?
The anger. In fact, one of the pattern I have noticed.
Yeah.
Iko na my firstborn son.
Yes.
Affect pia. Na mtoto ako na hasira mbaya.
Okay.
Na mimi nimenotice hii kitu. My mom raised us with bitterness. Ndio alikuwa peke yake. Maisha ilikuwa ngumu.
Yes.
Hiyo kitu pia mimi ni kama I got married kabla hata mimi sijahili.
Yes, you actually running away from your mother.
Mama yangu angenitusi maneno ingine yenye nikikumbuka sasa hata nalia.
Yeah, you actually running away from your mother, and you thought that getting married will be a solution to problems that are coming in from your past.
Yes.
Now, has your mother ever told you the reason why she broke up with your father?
No.
Has she ever introduced you to your father?
I know my father.
Yes.
I have tried to reach out kuongea na he has no problem, but si yule mtu mwenyewe nimemtafuta mara si moja si mbili.
Yes.
Anaongea tu, ukimpigia simu niko na namba yake, ukimpigia simu ataongea nawe vizuri ya kuadvise. Hana mambo, but si yule mtu mwenye anaweza get back to you without you reaching out to them.
Okay, amazing. Now listen, the truth is this, and I want you to change your life for the better. How many children do you have?
3.
How many boys?
2.
Would you want your boys to attract a woman who is angry and chaotic just like you?
No.
Exactly. So please fix your life so that you can actually know how to raise those sons. You have a man right now?
Yes.
Is he a stoic? Is he the ultimate provider? Or do you guys share bills?
He is the ultimate. He is a good person, but I am bad.
No. Listen, Jemtai, do not say.
I'm projecting to him too.
Do not say I am the bad one, because when you say that, you identify with the spirit of evil. Now, by the time you are thinking of sharing this truth, you are tired of being angry about yourself and about your mother. So I want you to do this. Is your mother living near you or far? I want you to get that identity of you. That identity that you have of anger is not you. It is the identity of your mother. So I want you to go and face your mother, or even give her a call, okay? Because you have to overcome her. Give your mother a call and tell her this. Hello, Mom. I appreciate you for raising me into the daughter that I am right now. However, I've realized whatever was happening in our life has made me resent you for no good reason. I apologize. And then give her about 10 seconds to respond. If she doesn't respond, if she speaks evil, do not care, because you don't expect anything from her. You're going to get identity from her by overcoming her. Okay? So you go there and tell her, hey, Mom, I appreciate you for raising me into this daughter that I am right now. However, I realize I've been resenting you for no good reason, and I apologize. Now, God will see you suffering. God will see you giving up, because when you do that, you're actually showing God, I'm unable to do this, and I want you to give my identity. So God will get your mother off that path. He will get that anger and emotion out of you, because it's the nature of your mother. And once he will do that, you will feel a whole load of relief. And that is not enough. Call your father and tell your father the same thing. Hey, Dad, I apologize for resenting you for no good reason, even though you raised me into the daughter that I am right now. So I wish, or I hope that you can actually forgive me for resenting you. Whatever your father says is none of your business. What you're doing is you're going back to the father. You're going back to reconnect with the spirit and the soul of the father, the biological father, who is the godly representation of, the earthly representation of God to you. So you overcome the mother, and then you forgive the father because he's the one who was supposed to protect you against the evil nature of your mother. But he was not there. So your mother saw your father in you and started resenting you because of that. So it's none of your business now. What you do is you face your mother, you tell her that, you overcome her. You face your father, you tell him that, you overcome him. And once you do that, God takes that burden off you, because it's not you. It's that thing that is actually controlling you and giving you that anger is the spirit of evil that you've allowed to settle in you, and your mother is the one who introduced it to you. So once you overcome these two people, God gets that emotion and anger out of you, the fear, the worry, the living in the future. He gets it out of you, and you become a free spirit. And then he gives you back your own identity. And through that identity, he will fill you with love. You will now know how to love your children. You will now know how to respect and submit to your husband. And there will be no chaos.
Yes.
Okay? Yes.
Listen, Doc, there's something I want to tell you. Last month, I
Yes.
went to pray somewhere.
Yes.
A place where we go to pray and fast. It's a place included for that. And then after my prayers, I decided I am going home
Yes.
to make peace with my mother. Now that I'm from my prayer center and I've been resenting this because my mother did so many bad things to me when I was young. So I've been having that thing, and I've been saying again and again. I went to pray, and after that, I say this time around.
Yeah.
In fact, and I had been away from my mother for almost 5 years. After prayers, I told myself, today I'm going home, and I'm going to stay with my mom for as long as I want before I go back to my family.
Yeah.
And so I went. I finished my prayers, and I went home. Do you know, my mother didn't want me.
Yeah, she's an evil woman.
My mother was not happy, and I realized I have realized that now that my mother is a toxic person, and from the look of things, there is nothing much I can do about that.
Listen.
In fact, I went.
Yeah. Continue.
I went home. She was not even happy. I've been away for a long time. And from before this, even you give birth, I was living in a place which was not far from my mother's. From my home.
Yeah.
You give birth, your mother will not even visit you at the hospital. Hata kama umepata complication.
I know.
Yes. I noted that. That is why I was not even going home. But then, a month ago, I went for prayers, and after praying and fasting, I had a conviction that I should
go and forgive her.
And see my father. Yes, and I did that. I listened. I think that was the Holy Spirit talking to me, and I listened. I obeyed, and I went. Now, I stayed for 2 days, and I saw, what happened?
They don't want me.
I didn't want to spoil everything. I told her, I came here to visit you.
Yeah.
Today, for these 2 days, let me go back to my children. But then I didn't go back. I didn't come back to my house. I went to my sister's place, a place which is not far from home also. So when she heard that I'm in my sister's home, of which she's not talking to my sister also, I want you to see this. There is a problem. My mother is right now, she has not talked to my sister for the last only 1.5 years or 2 years. How is the problem here? We realized it's like our mom is toxic because we have tried. We send our money. We are just trying, even if the relationship was not that good.
Yeah.
We are just trying.
Listen, Chemutai.
She's not talking to my sister.
Yes.
Her job is to kugonganisha watu, kukosanisha watu.
Yeah.
Anapigia huyu, amongelele huyu. Like when I left home, she started calling my sister, who is not even in Kenya, to tell her why she came here. She saw things. Anateseka huko kwake.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Your own mother.
That is so annoying. And listen, I don't.
It was from fasting, so she saw me that I was not. You know, when you fast, I did a long fast.
Yeah.
So, and directly from the prayers, I went to home. Do you know, my mother saw me and she started talking ill about me. Oh, she's suffering. Look at her. She has been boasting, singing about what and what. She's not even helping me.
Yeah.
Guy, Jesus Christ.
I want you to know this, Chemutai.
Yes.
I want you to know this, that your mother, the problem is not your mother, it's the spirit that is inside her that is controlling her. So she's actually enjoying her own hell. So do not identify with that spirit, because you see, whatever she was doing to you made you resent her and you became just like her. because whatever you resent, you become. Okay, so you have to get your identity from her. You have to overcome her. And I know most children fear their mothers, and at some point, you see, the devil is the one that was talking into your ears and telling you, wachana tu, you came here to forgive her, but now she's so unapproachable, leave. At that moment in time, you would have overcome that spirit of evil by telling your mother that, hey, I came over to tell you this, and this is what I'm going to say, and whatever she says is none of your business, because you're not expecting anything from her. Go straight and face her. Most people fear their mothers, and it's not because they fear them, it's because they resent them. Okay, when you resent your mothers, we are afraid of even facing them.
We have a lot of fear towards our mother.
And you see, that's the reason why.
Your phone and calling her, you tremble, and you're far away.
And that's the reason why your father left, because your father left because of that reason. And now she sees your father inside you, and now she resents you. And now when she resents you, she becomes even worse. She's digging her own hole. So you have to forgive her, and then go find your father and forgive him. And by the way, if you find time to just meet your father in person and ask him what happened, you will know the truth. So ask him for forgiveness. Do not tell him, I want to forgive you.
I met my father in person, and my father told me that your mother was bad. She used to abuse me. She never used to respect me. That is what my father told me the first time. When I was very young, I was in Form 2. My father told me, your mother.
Yeah.
He did say your mother was bad. He told me, hey, I really tried to live with your mother and raise you. But he abused me. He used to insult me. She was not nice to me. She bad things about me to other people.
And that is the absolute truth. That is the absolute truth, because fathers don't lie to their children.
100%.
Fathers don't lie to children. And you see, every child from within you long for a father. There's that devoid hole for your father, and that's why it's necessary to connect with your father. But you cannot connect with your father without overcoming your mother. So you overcome your mother, and then you forgive your father. Once you do that, and now you get your own identity, and you'll see perfect peace, because that is what you need right now. And when you have that perfect peace, your home will blossom, your children will grow better, your husband will be a happy husband. But right now, he's just thing your mother went through, and your mother is inside you, so you'll go through the same thing. So for you to avoid that, you must overcome her, and then take your identity from your father, and then now you'll know how to love and respect your husband. And that's how beautiful life will be.
Yes.
Good. So go do that, okay?
At least I'm aware. For me, I have
exactly.
There is this spirit. At least I'm aware. This spirit that was with my mother, I can feel it in me.
Man, I wish you the best. I want you to get better, because you actually need it. Okay? So go get it. Get that identity, and then you'll see how your marriage will blossom. And you'll see how your mother will suffer in her own hell.
Do you know I built my mother a house, lakini aliuza hiyo shamba juu alitaki na alitaka ndio nifili. I built my mother her house mpaka ikaisha. Hakuishi kwa hiyo nyumba, akauza hiyo shamba na hiyo nyumba akaenda. Ndio ni feel vibaya. That was the intention.
Oh.
Hiyo ndio tulirealize with my sister. Hiyo toxicity utafanya nini?
Simply do not judge her. Discern that evil nature, forgive her, and move on, okay?
Okay.
Man, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
You are in our prayers, and you'll be better. Trust me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Amazing story. Welcome to Identity Fridays. Amazing story. Somebody is saying here, listen to these people who have anger and emotions here. Somebody is saying maybe the father was toxic to the mother, which made her change. Now listen, nobody can change you. You are just a bitter person. You're just an evil person. Nobody can change you. Nobody. And fathers don't lie to children, I'm telling you, unless they are so evil also. And it's not their fault, it's the spirit that is inside of them. But from this story, we cannot say the father was bad, because this lady has talked to the father already, and you've heard what she said. The father did not even talk bad about the mother. He gave her the true story of what really happened. So the father knows that these children are actually longing to have me. But you can see the mother how is busy trying to fix, thinking that when she hates these daughters who look like the fathers, she's thinking she'll feel better. But she ends up suffering. So yes, you see where the problem is. I am not crazy. I'm not actually defending anybody here. I'm saying the truth because I've asked her, and you heard her story. The story is out there, it's clear. Oh, that was a beautiful story. Man, I hope you can get your identity faster so that you can be better. You deserve it. This is why we do Identity Thursdays. My ex-husband ruined my children with his lies to them. Listen, you chose who you are. And he's not your ex-husband. He's just a human being now. Stop quoting the spirit of evil with these names, ex-husband. There's nothing like ex-husband. He's just an individual trying to live his life. You attracted who you are. And now you're portraying that anger on him and you simply become like him. You're thinking that he was the bad one, you are the better one. You are not. Because you attracted who you are. So instead of fixing you, you're now lashing that anger on him so that you can feel good. You're thinking you'll feel good by speaking bad about that gentleman. This is a gentleman who actually gave you children. So you can imagine you gave him your precious present, which is your womb. And now because he left, you're calling him bad. You want us to believe that he was the bad one. But you're the one who gave access to sex and you gave access to giving him children. So that means your choices were wrong. Because you did not have an identity when you got married to him. You did not forgive your mother. You did not overcome her. You did not forgive your father. So you went into a marriage without an identity. You were actually trying to run away from your past. You ended attracting the same people. You run away from your past, you attract them in the future. Oh, amazing. 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 Hey, yeah. Most people are so evil and they like living their own hell. We do love living in our own hell. And sometimes you think, oh, I'm suffering from this depression because, because of genetics, because of this. No, it's because of lack of an identity. You don't have an identity and you're busy trying to run away from the truth. And as you run away from the truth, the spirit of evil just takes over. And now it controls you. It excites you from this ear only to depress you from this other ear. And until you get a spiritual bearing, those antidepressants are not going to do anything. Drugs cannot fix a spiritual battle. They can't. How about people who are raised by toxic aunts? In the first place, Zule, there is no toxic person. These are people who belong to God. And they've just chosen to have the evil nature in them. So when you call them toxic, you're actually judging them. You become a sinner. You don't have opinion over anything. You don't have to pass judgment over anything. What you need to do is you need to forgive them for imparting their identities on you. Face them, tell them, forgive them so that you can get your identity back. Once you do that, you overcome them and you let them stay in their own hell. But the more you call them toxic, the more you become toxic just like them. You resent them, you become like them. Well, it's a deeper stuff here. We are fixing souls one after the other. This is Lebolo.
Hi, doctor.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, and you, doctor?
All is well. Talk to us.
All I can say is that I was feeling amazing because I did the 72-hour fasting.
Okay.
And then this topic just messed up everything now. I'm being so emotional.
Yeah. This is a place, this is a home to learn those emotions because we are here to help you overcome your emotions.
Yes, the thing is, I'm so angry, I'm so bitter. I'm the firstborn. I have 3 little sisters.
Okay.
So I was raised by both parents.
Yeah.
So my mother, when she get married, my daddy's sisters, they left their kids with her.
Okay.
The same year that she get married, the kids were brought to her so that she can take care of them.
Yeah.
So I can say there were about 7 kids. She was raising 7 kids, and my daddy was the only one who was working by then.
Yeah.
So she tried, because all of us, we managed to finish school with grade 12.
Okay.
So it was a very difficult situation whereby my daddy couldn't afford it. There were some things, especially the school uniform.
Mm-hmm.
We could go without shoes and stuff because there were so many of us, and they wouldn't buy for one, otherwise the other one wouldn't have. So they rather not buy for all of us. So that's how we grew up.
Okay.
So the only people who were always helping by then were my mother's sisters.
Yeah.
They were working and they could bring some second-hand clothes for us.
Yeah.
So that's how we grew up. So life goes on like that up until 2016.
Yeah.
Okay, I finished school. Then 2005, I get married.
Okay.
So I left home. My parents were still together by then with my other sisters. So these other kids, their parents keep them as well. So it was only my mother's kids that was there.
Okay.
So 2016, my father started doing the funny things whereby he started cheating,
Okay.
started beating my mom. Up until now, he left home. So I'm carrying this feeling with me, which is as the firstborn. I feel like I have failed my mom. Like seeing her every day, because she's just a humble person. If I can tell, she doesn't talk much, and she loves everybody. Because even the kids, the relative kids, everybody loves her because they have that natural love.
Okay.
And that's why she managed even to help these other kids to finish school, even though she had nothing, but she made it a point that everybody's gonna finish school. So I'm having this thing that I'm failing. I have failed as a firstborn daughter because now he's suffering and there's nothing that I can do about it.
But
You
but
know?
but
And
but you see, you've not failed anybody because you came alone and you will live alone. Your only role is to seek truth, and the rest shall be added unto you. So why are you thinking that you failed somebody? You are not here to actually impress anybody. You're here to live a life, and that life is to glorify God. Is that simple? So you've not failed anybody. Stop thinking you failed somebody. And now you see, I'll tell you this for free. Until you get an identity, and I talk about identities and people think it's a joke. You see, anger does not come from just the trees. It doesn't. And I know very well you don't like being angry. You don't like feeling this way because it is hell and you don't like being in hell. But the only way you can actually overcome that hell is by forgiving them. Now, whatever your father did to your mother is none of your business because you see, your mother attracted who she was. Whether she is this good person according to you, but how would you know that she's a good person when you don't have the spirit of good inside you? Because you see, anger does not harbor love. A heart that has anger cannot harbor love. So it doesn't know good. So right now you're angry about everything. And when you have that anger, you don't have love inside of you. So you don't know God. You know about him, but you don't know God. So the only way to find out the truth is to seek it. And how do you seek it? Get an identity by forgiving your mother. Just tell her you're tired of resenting her and you apologize. Overcome her, go face your father and tell him the same thing. That regardless of what was happening, you raised us into these daughters that we are. But I apologize for resenting you for no good reason. Once you do that, whatever they say, do not care about it. Simply move. And once you move, you will be moving with an identity because God will see your suffering. He will get their false identities off you. He will load you with your own identity and then you will fill that identity with love. So everything that you will be doing will be a revelation from God through that identity. Because God does not speak to people. He reveals things to people. And he cannot reveal anything to you without an identity. So when you get that identity, he will be revealing things through that identity. And now you'll do good because you'll have an identity of good. But at this moment in time, you have a heart that has anger, and the only thing you want to do is to destroy because anger is the nature of destruction. So you have fear, you have doubt, you have concern, you feel inadequate. You see now you're feeling like you offended people, and all this is actually being a burden on you. And yet, it's just in your imagination. It is in your thoughts. So start doubting all those thoughts, but start by forgiving your mother, overcome her. Forgive your father, overcome him. And then start doubting every single thought. It's that simple. It's not a difficult thing. But because we resent our parents from within us, we find it so hard to face them and actually ask forgiveness from them or actually forgive them. It becomes difficult because we still harbor their spirit inside of us and their identities inside of us. And therefore, that evil nature tells you, go and forgive her. You reach there, you want to forgive her, and the same evil spirit tells you, there's nothing she has done. She will get emotional. And now you retract back. You continuously live in that hell. And that's you allowing the devil to actually survive in you. Okay? So I want you to go and face your mother and face your father and forgive them.
Yeah, I tried so many times to speak to my father, but he doesn't want to. He said even if he can die, he doesn't want to see us.
You see, because you went to him with expectations that he has to forgive you. You don't go to people with expectations. What you do is you go to them to pick your identity from them. Look at it this way: you steal this mug from me and you start running, and I start following you, and then you return this mug to me, right? And then after you've returned that mug to me, and then you start abusing me, telling me, oh, you are a doctor, you can't afford another mug. Health and Wellness Sport is a big company. Can it not buy other mugs? Why are you chasing this one mug? Do you think I'll care?
No.
I don't care, because you already returned the mug to me. So I go my way. So when you go to forgive people, you don't go there with expectations. You go to forgive them so that you get your identity from them. And once you forgive them, it's done. God is the one who forgives. They cannot forgive you. You only tell them because you want their ego to go down and you want to massage their ego a little bit. You tell them, I've been resenting you for no good reason. I want you to forgive me. Period. Whatever they say is none of your business. Let it go inside here and come outside from here. Because once you show that, once you show God that you actually need this forgiveness, you actually get them off your path. When you get them off your path, now God overcomes them for you. He takes that spirit of evil and that false identity from you, leaves it to them, and now you have a fresh identity. And that's where revelations come in. So everything you'll be doing will be guided by the spirit of good.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
You're welcome. I wish you well, and I hope you can do that as quickly as possible, because you don't have the future. When you get time, simply face them, overcome them, and you'll be better.
Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, forgiveness should be always in your heart. And this is how to overcome that anger inside of you. One, forgive your mother for lashing her emotions or her anger into you, and then imparting a false identity in you. And then go and face your father, overcome him, forgive him for allowing your mother to actually impart these emotions in you. That's how you do it. And then be aware of that anger. Do not fight that anger. That spirit that is inside of you, do not fight it. Be aware of it. Once you're aware of it, you realize you will not have opinion over anything. You will not judge. You will not pass judgment over anything. You will not make any opinion and any judgment over anything. You will not hate anything. You will see evil. You will not hate it, because if you hate it, you become that evil. So you will see it, you will discern it. Okay? And then you will bring all your thoughts to captivity. 2 Corinthians 10:5. Bring all your thoughts into captivity. So you'll bring those thoughts into captivity. And once you do that, you'll be a free man. You'll be a free woman. So let thoughts flow into your head. Do not act upon those thoughts. Pay attention to them, but do not believe those thoughts. Thoughts at every time are evil, and they are the nature of the devil. He's trying to control you through your own imaginations. The spirit of the Lord, or the spirit of good, is in your heart. Whatever is in your head is the devil using that to control you and make you feel bad about yourself, make you feel good about yourself. You're not either good or bad. You're just somebody who has to identify with the spirit, and that spirit will guide you. Okay, so whatever spirit you identify with, you either identify with good, you do the good, or evil, you do the evil. Okay? So do that and see what happens to you. And remember that God did not give you the spirit of fear, doubt, anger, or those concerns that you think you have. God gave you the spirit of power, love, and self-control. So choose you. Choose good, do good. Choose evil, do evil, and suffer in the nature of evil.